Hello, welcome to the third part of the introduction to Excel. We've gone over on what Excel is, what absolute reference is, but in this part I will go through on how to use mixed references. So now we're not only using absolute references, we want to lock either the column or the row. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to use an example here. Here we have sort of a multiplication table. We want to fill this out with the correct numbers. So for example, in this cell here, C5, we want to multiply this number with this number. So here is 1 times 1. In this cell, it is 2 times 1. Here it's 3 times 1. And in here it's 4 times 1. Here it's 4 times 2, etc. You get the idea. But let's try filling it out by just doing some simple references here. So it's this cell times this cell, right? You might think, let's copy paste this down, Control D, Control R. And you see it's all messed up. See there's errors and a bunch of ways. So we have to lock it in some way. So we can go down and look here. This blue cell is moving down. It is not supposed to do that. So we can lock this cell. So let's try that. Let's lock this one here. Okay, let's try this again. Control D and Control R. So now we're still not getting the correct matrix here. So what is happening here? Here it seems to be doing perfectly fine. This one is correct, but here, 2 times 1, what happened here? The red cell is supposed to stay over here. Okay, so let's try locking this row as well. Let's lock the number 1 here. Okay, let's try this. Control down, Control right. Okay, now what is happening now? We're not getting any. We're only just getting 1 everywhere. So what's happening here? We still want them to move, but we still want to lock in certain ways of the references. So the thing here, we have to mix the references. We don't have to lock both the row and the column. We can just say, let's just only lock the row, but let it move when we move the column. So this is what the dollar signs are doing. So the correct way to do it is to remove, for these numbers here, we want to lock the row, but we want them to move on the columns, and vice versa on this column here. These numbers that go vertically, there we want to lock the column, but not the row, because we're gonna move down. We will never want this to jump to another column, and we never want these ones up here to move to the row. This is what it will look like in practice. So we remove the dollar sign here from this blue one, and on the red one, we remove the dollar sign from the row, because this dollar sign means lock the row. We don't want to lock the row. We only want to lock the column here. I only want to lock the row here. Okay. So let's copy paste this down the formula. Control Shift down. Control D. Copy paste. Control R. So let's double check here. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 15. 3 times 5 is 15. So let's go here. 8 times 8 is 64. Okay, so this is one example on how you can use mixed references. And this is a good way to practice if you want to train your references skills. This will take a bit of a practice. If you're not completely understanding and it's a bit confusing, that's totally understandable. But this is a great way on how you can use mixed references. So very recommended that you train a few tries, try on your own on different examples, and train on absolute references and mixed references. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.